Hello, my name is Anthony Escalante, and I'm in Professor Gutierrez Interpersonal Communications class. In this video, I'm going to be explaining nonverbal cues and how they are used in everyday communication, specifically with facial expressions and oculesics. So for example, if I'm upset, I'm going to make a face like this. Or if I'm confused, I'm going to clench my eyebrows together to show that I'm confused to somebody. Or if I'm happy, I'm going to smile. So first, I'm going to define what facial expressions are and how they are used in everyday conversation. Second, I'm going to explain what oculesics are and go further into the definition of that and how they are used within everyday communication and how they go hand in hand with facial expressions. Lastly, I will explain how facial expressions are commonly used in cultures, specifically my culture, which is Latino culture, and how Latino culture uses facial expressions to communicate. Facial expressions, also known as kinesics, is a form of a nonverbal cue that can display personal emotions and indicate an individual's intentions within a social situation. When someone makes you upset or tells you something that you don't want to hear, your face will show what you're feeling before you can even say anything. Personally, I have a habit of using facial expressions that come natural to me whenever I am mad or uncomfortable. And because of this, it has affected relationships with close ones that are around me. According to the book Nonverbal Communications in Close Relationships, the author, Corey Floyd, states that depressed individuals display an unskilled profile of nonverbal communication that can lead to rejection, thwart the development of close relationships, and cause relational problems. When pertaining to the feeling of sadness and anger, your communication skills diminish, thus affecting your relationships with people. Oculesics, or eye movement, is a form of a facial expression and is the study of the eye movement, behavior, gaze, and eye-related nonverbal communication. Eye contact is a revealing component of how you show your emotions through communicating nonverbally. In a report by Peter Anderson, he focuses on the development of nonverbal communication behavior of elementary school students. He reported that children were less accurate than adults in detecting eye contact from either an adult or another child peer. Kids who show a pattern of eye contact or a form of oculesics may start to develop nonverbal behavior patterns when they grow up. This shows that they show judgment towards another individual when making eye contact. Many cultures commonly use facial expressions as their ideal form of nonverbal communication. Specifically in Latino culture, the heavy use of facial expressions and oculesics is common within family events, dates, arguments, and etc. According to an article by William Cruz, he focuses on the nonverbal communication styles between cultures and how common it is for Latinos to make facial expressions. He states, in the Latino culture, the smile takes the place of many verbal expressions. For example, a person may smile at you instead of saying, "Hi, how are you?" A clerk may smile at the customer rather than saying, "May I help you?" And a customer may smile at a clerk rather than say, "Thank you." In the Latino culture, expressing gratitude verbally may seem formal and impersonal. Personally, I have discovered how much my culture takes advantage of the use of facial expressions. Throughout my family, whenever we get into an intense argument or a fight, I can tell whenever someone is angry or upset just by looking at their face before something bad happens. To wrap it up, nonverbal cues play a huge role in interpersonal communication. Facial expressions are ways that we express ourselves when we don't have anything to say or to let others know how we feel. Along with facial expressions come oculesics. Oculesics are eye movements that capture whether or not you want to engage in a conversation with an individual. Now, with many cultures, they use different cues when speaking to family or friends to convey their feelings and emotions. I personally, with Latino culture, facial expressions are a critical nonverbal cue that is used a lot. And because of our culture is very heavy on being direct and making others feel the way that we feel, I've also had experiences with my family in any situation where facial expressions are always louder than the words that we speak. This is just because we struggle with how to use our words sometimes. But just remember, even the smallest actions speak louder than our words.